Hey everyone, Jake here with TrueGuard. Today we are going to go over the 75 by 60 curbless linear drain one slope shower tray. If you haven't seen the 56 or the 50 by 60 tray, which is the smaller size than this one, I would really recommend that. There's a lot of stuff that I went over that I may not go over here, and some of the terminology is just going to make better sense if you have seen that video as well. First of all, this is the 75 by 60. I put a linear drain down here at the front. And one of the first things that I'm going to say that actually will make sense to those who have seen the 50 by 60 is now you can see what I was talking about with having 3 columns, right? 1, 2, 3. Now we've got 3 columns. In the 56 by 60, for those of you who haven't watched it, you basically don't have these 2 pieces. It's just this column and this column. So 4 pieces in a 56 by 60, 6 pieces in a 75 by 60. And basically each column here, each piece, so this piece right here is, and this is where we get the dimensions, okay? This is 25 inches, okay? So from this side of the tray to this side is 25 inches. Then from the front of the tray to the back of the tray is 30 inches, okay? So 30 plus another 30 is 60 inches, okay? And then out from the outside here to 25 inches, 50 inches, and 75 inches. Okay, that's how the dimensions work with this tray. You're gonna get 6 pieces. It's gonna come in 1 box. And again, just like the 56 by 60, everything is installed with modified thin set. You can install it onto a concrete slab. You can install it onto a plywood subfloor, and all of it is modified thin set. And the only thing that you'll want to do is make sure to lift up each individual piece and make sure that you have full coverage on the entire bottom part of the tray. So a couple things again that you may not have remembered, or if you haven't watched the 56 by 60, these front 3 trays right here, okay, they are starting here closest to the linear drain is 1/4 of an inch right here on this edge where my fingers are, okay? Then you're going to go up a little ways, and now it's going to be 7/8 of an inch right here, okay? Then, so halfway at 30 inches, 7/8 of an inch, okay? Then back here at another 30 inches at the end, the max thickness is going to be 1.5 inches. One of the other things that I'll just point out again really quickly, I go into a much deeper discussion about it of why there actually is this space between the linear drain over here and the trays over here. I purposely did this gap because these trays all end at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so if we slope 1/4 inch per foot, we still have to slope another 1/4 inch to get down to 0, which is at the linear drain. But you can't realistically get to 0, so there is an 8-inch gap between the lowest section of the tray and the linear drain. So you'll put the linear drain in first, you'll install it, put it down, get it set. Okay, then you're going to measure out 8 inches, okay, and then you're going to put down your first piece, which is the thinnest side at 1/4 of an inch. Then that will slope upwards to 7/8 of an inch. And then this second panel here is going to measure 7/8 of an inch on one side and 1.5 inches on the other side. So making a 1 slope and a continuous slope, you obviously put the 7/8 of an inch sides together, and that will create 1 column here that'll slope a full 60 inches down to the linear drain. Okay, that's one of the biggest questions that I get is which way does the linear drain trays slope? And my answer is it slopes the 60-inch direction, which means 60 inches from here to here. So it slopes from the 1.5 inch side, which is the back at 60 inches, down to the 1/4 of an inch, which is that full 60 inches to the linear drain. Okay, so there are basically 2 rows. All these pieces right here are all 1/4 of an inch to 7/8 of an inch. Then you have another 3 back in the back here that measure 7/8 of an inch at the front and 1.5 inches at the back. That's how you lay it out. I highly recommend that you go ahead, dry fit, you lay it all out in your living room or wherever you have room to lay it all out, and so you can make sense of it, draw on them, number them, so you can lay them out properly when it's time to put them down in your shower. All of these, and kind of you can tell, this linear drain is a 60-inch rough opening linear drain, and this is a 75-inch wide tray. Okay, so there will be some trimming down that you may need to do. Just like all of our other linear drain trays or all of our other trays, they're easily trimmable. You can trim them with anything that you have readily available. So I hope this video helps. Check out some of these other videos. I'll either show some differences in these linear drain trays, the difference between a 56 by 60 and a 75 by 60. I'll also show you how to easily trim them. Hope this helps. Again, leave your questions or anything that you have down in the comments, and check the description for any other links that may be helpful to you. All right, thanks, and we'll see you soon.